1. Makunik, the village of little people. Real info. Makunik is a remote village near the Afghanistan border where homes are extremely small. Doors barely reach your knees. Historically, residents were shorter than average due to poor nutrition and extreme isolation. Fantasy vibe. It feels exactly like the Shire from Lord of the Rings. Tiny houses, cozy life, and a peaceful, Hobbit-like village atmosphere. Educational insight. Makunik is a fascinating example of how geography, environment, and long-term dietary limitations can physically shape a population and their architecture. A real-life anthropology case study. 2. Mount Damavand, Iran's sleeping volcano. Real info. The highest mountain in the Middle East is also a dormant volcano. It still releases sulfur gas and has hot springs nearby. It's iconic in Persian mythology and history. Fantasy vibe. It's basically Iran's Mount Doom. Towering, silent, but full of ancient fire. It even looks ominous on cloudy days. Educational insight. Damavand isn't just a symbol. It's a living geological feature tied to myths, earthquakes, and Iran's tectonic personality. 3. Wind catchers of Yazd, ancient air conditioning. Real info. Badgurs, wind catchers, are tall chimneys that use airflow to cool buildings in the desert. No electricity needed. They've been used for over 1,000 years in cities like Yazd. Fantasy vibe. These elegant structures could easily exist in Rivendell. High, functional, and harmonious with nature. Educational insight. Wind catchers are one of the earliest examples of sustainable design. They show how ancient Persians adapted architecture to harsh environments brilliantly. 4. Achaemenid postal system, world's first express. Real info. The Persian Empire invented a relay-based postal system using mounted riders. Centuries before Rome did anything similar. Herodotus even praised it. Fantasy vibe. Imagine the riders of Gondor galloping to deliver royal messages. Fast, organized, loyal. That's ancient Iran. Educational insight. This system reflects incredible administrative skill and shows how infrastructure-powered empire management. Communication was everything. 5. World's largest hand-woven carpet. Real info. The largest handmade carpet in the world, over 5,600 square meters, was woven in Iran for the Sheikh Zayed Mosque in the UAE. It took 1 to 200 weavers in Nishapur. Fantasy vibe. It belongs in Minas Tirith or the throne room of the elves. Intricate, royal, massive, literally art under your feet. Educational insight. Persian carpet making isn't just art. It's math, memory, heritage, and economics. A soft power that travels far. 6. Cheshme Ali, the color-changing spring. Real info. A natural spring in Damgan, where the water changes color depending on the season, from green to orange to reddish pink, caused by minerals and sunlight. Fantasy vibe. It feels like an enchanted lake in Lothlorien. Beautiful, mysterious, and ever-shifting. A place to meet ancient beings. Educational insight. This is a natural example of hydrochemistry and mineral interaction with light. Great for environmental science lessons. 7. Iran's climate diversity. Real info. Iran has 11 of the world's 13 climate types. Deserts, snowy mountains, jungles, rainforests, coasts, and more. Few countries on Earth match this diversity. Fantasy vibe. It's like someone crammed the whole Middle-earth map into one country. From misty mountains to Mordor. Educational insight. This impacts everything, from farming to clothing, language and local culture. It explains why Iran feels like multiple countries in one. 8. Jashak Salt Mountain, Iran's alien world. Real info. Located in southern Iran, This salt dome is full of surreal white landscapes, salt waterfalls, caves, rivers, like walking on another planet. Fantasy vibe. You could film a wizard battle or ancient prophecy scene here. Pure alien fantasy aesthetics. Educational insight. Great case for students of geology. This is what salt tectonics and evaporate formations look like in the wild. 9. The 2,500-year-old sundial. Real info. In Pasargadae, there's a stone sundial that dates back to over 2,500 years ago, and still works. It used shadow positioning to measure time. Fantasy vibe. Feels like something left behind by the Numenorians. Ancient, wise, and low-key magical. Educational insight. Shows early Persian understanding of astronomy, engineering, and solar patterns. It's precision without tech. 10. Khalid Nabi Cemetery. Mysterious stones. Real info. A remote cemetery in Golistan where tombstones are tall, sometimes shaped like people or symbols. No one knows exactly why. Fantasy vibe, straight out of the paths of the dead. Silent, symbolic, unsettling in the most beautiful way. Educational insight. An open window into burial symbolism, local beliefs, and anthropological mystery in northern Iran.
11. Nasir Olmulk Mosque, Iran's Rainbow Temple. Real info. A mosque in Shiraz, famous for its colorful stained glass windows. Morning sunlight turns the prayer hall into a rainbow dream. Fantasy vibe. Like a peaceful, elven sanctuary glowing with divine light. Educational insight. Shows mastery in Persian. Architecture and how spiritual space can be designed through optics and light. 12. Hormuz Island. Iran's painted land. Real info. Hormuz's soil is red, orange, and yellow, even edible. It looks surreal. Fantasy vibe. Feels like a battlefield in a dream world. Blazing sands. Mystical vibes. Educational insight. Teaches geology, mineral pigmentation, and the value of natural art and tourism. 13. Keshmstar Valley, Iran's alien canyon. Real info. Wind-sculpted rocks on Keshem Island form sharp, alien-like shapes. Locals say stars crashed here. Fantasy vibe. Like Mordor mixed with Mars. Strange, silent, and sacred. Educational insight. A real-time model for erosion in natural sculpture and geomorphology. 14. The Doorless Village, Maymand. Real info. A 12,000-year-old cave village where people live without doors, and theft is basically non-existent. Fantasy vibe. Like a humble dwarven stronghold built on trust. Educational insight demonstrates ancient human cooperation, shared space, and resilience through eco-friendly architecture. 15. Towers of Silence, Zoroastrian sky burial. Real info. Zoroastrians used high stone towers to expose the dead to vultures, avoiding burial or fire. Fantasy vibe. Gothic and sacred, like a spiritual ritual from Gondor. Educational insight offers lessons in ancient religious philosophy, purity, and the cycle of nature. 16. Maharlu, Iran's Pink Lake. Real info. A salt lake near Shiraz that turns pink in summer due to algae and salt crystals. Fantasy vibe. Like a magical lake of love or healing potions in fantasy worlds. Educational insight teaches biology, ecology, and the fascinating role of halophilic organisms. 17. Alisada Cave, the underground river. Real info. A huge cave system filled with water that visitors can paddle through. One of the world's largest. Fantasy vibe. The peaceful side of Moria, an ancient realm below, with calm waters and echoing walls. Educational insight demonstrates karst geology, cave formation, and underground water systems. 18. Bam Citadel, the clay fortress. Real info. Argi Bam is the largest adobe structure on Earth, partially destroyed in an earthquake and now being restored. Fantasy vibe, like Helm's Deep made of mud brick, old mighty reborn. Educational insight, a case in disaster recovery, earth and architecture, and UNESCO-level heritage. 19. Nushabad Underground City. Real info. a hidden multi-level city under the town of New Shabad, used as shelter during invasions. Fantasy vibe, secret tunnels and shadowy halls, exactly where dwarves or resistance groups would hide. Educational insight, teaches urban defense tactics, engineering under pressure, and strategic use of terrain. 20. Yakshal, Persian ancient freezers. Real info. Cone-shaped structures that stored ice even in summer using airflow and insulation. No electricity. Fantasy vibe, like the ice pantry of a desert wizard. Cool, dark, and spellworthy. Educational insight, a perfect case in ancient energy-free refrigeration and sustainability in architecture.
21. The Valley of the Stars, where Earth meets myth. On Kesham Island, there's a place where locals say stars once fell from the sky. And honestly, when you see it, you might believe them. The jagged cliffs, bizarre rock formations, and silence of the Star Valley feel like you're walking through the bones of an ancient celestial battlefield. It's like the land still remembers the impact. Fantasy parallel. This is Middle-earth's forgotten battlefield. Dramatic, sacred, raw. Cultural insight. Local legends say spirits whisper here at night. Scientifically, it's erosion. But myth and geology collide beautifully in this place. 22. Persian gardens, heaven engineered. Ever wonder where the word paradise comes from? It's actually from the Persian word pardis, meaning walled garden. The Persians didn't just plant flowers, they designed geometry, harmony, water flow, and shade as spiritual elements. A Persian garden isn't just beautiful, it's symbolic. 4 rivers, eternal balance, peace. Fantasy parallel. Think Rivendell, but Islamic and geometric. Cultural insight. These gardens weren't just art, they were philosophy in plant form, a model of heaven on earth. 23. The ritual of Chahar-Shambhe Suri, firewalking festival before Nowruz. Iranians jump over fire to burn away the past year's misfortunes. They say, Zardiye man azto, Sorkiye to Azman, my paleness to you, your redness to me. It's like trading pain for energy, fear for warmth. Fantasy parallel, like a fire-cleansing ritual from a lost Dunedain tribe. Cultural insight. It dates back to Zoroastrian fire worship. Today, it's a vibrant, defiant tradition that survives modern times. 24. Khalid Nabi Cemetery, Tombs of Mystery. You've never seen tombstones like this. Located on a mountaintop in Golistan, they're tall, cylindrical, and some say symbolically suggestive. Some believe they're ancient fertility symbols, others say tribal totems. Either way, they're hauntingly beautiful. Fantasy parallel, like statues left by an ancient, forgotten civilization. Still watching. Cultural insight. A blend of folk mystery and lost semiotics. We may never know their full meaning, and that's part of the magic. 25. Iranian Qanat, subterranean water highways. How do you bring water to a dry desert 3,000 years ago? Dig horizontal tunnels from mountains to villages underground, so water never evaporates. Genius, that's what Qanats are. Underground aqueducts that still work today. Fantasy parallel. Imagine a civilization that carved rivers beneath the earth to survive. Elves would approve. Cultural insight. It's one of Iran's greatest forgotten inventions and a sustainable marvel ahead of its time. 26. The music of Khorasan, the epic bards of the East. In the northeast of Iran and Khorasan, old men still sing ancient epics. Poems about heroes, wars, love, and exile, all from memory. Their instrument? The dotr, a 2-stringed lute with stories in every note. Fantasy parallel. Think of wandering minstrels and taverns singing the history of nations. Cultural insight. These bards are living archives. Their voices preserve oral literature that predates written text. 27. Shaddad Desert's Kaluts, ghost city of the sand. In the Lut Desert, winds have carved massive stone ridges called callouts, tall, eerie, and almost architectural. At sunrise and sunset, they cast long, haunting shadows like an abandoned city of giants. Fantasy Parallel feels like the ruined city of a forgotten empire, swallowed by time. Cultural insight. This is the hottest place ever recorded on Earth, and yet life used to exist nearby. Now that's survival. 28. Zanjan Saltmen, Iran's natural mummies. Miners discovered human corpses naturally mummified in salt. Thousands of years old, preserved so well they still had facial hair. They're called the Salt Men, and their remains are a chilling peek into ancient mining life. And death. Fantasy Parallel. Like ancient kings cursed to wait under the mountains, Cultural Insight offers a rare biological and archaeological look into ancient Persia's working class, from their clothes to their last meals. 29. The Caspian Hyrcanian forests. Iran's jungle realm. Stretching along the Caspian coast, these are dense, misty, moss-covered forests. Millions of years old, and home to species found nowhere else. You feel like you're being watched by spirits. Fantasy Parallel, straight-up Fangorn Forest, but Persian. Cultural Insight, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and one of the last remaining temperate rainforests of its kind. 30. The Persian New Year. Nowruz is the Persian New Year, celebrated at the spring equinox. It's not about champagne. It's about fire, water, green plants, rebirth, family, poetry, and food. It goes back over 3,000 years. Fantasy Parallel. Imagine a kingdom that celebrates life, balance, and nature with a symbolic table of elements. Cultural Insight. Nowruz is recognized by the UN and UNESCO. It's a cultural treasure that outlived empires and still grows.
31. The Persian Carpet. Weaving worlds into thread, a true Persian carpet isn't just floor decor, it's a story, a map, a memory. Each design has meaning. Gardens of paradise, paths of fate, colors of emotion. Weavers don't use patterns, it's all memorized. Woven from heart, not blueprint. It's fantasy parallel, like elven tapestries that reveal prophecies when you touch them. Cultural insight. This is visual storytelling passed down through generations. Math, myth, and magic on a loom. 32. The black tents of the nomads. Homes that breathe in the highlands of Iran. Nomadic tribes still pitch saya chatter. Tents made of goat hair. Breathe when it's hot, insulate when it's cold, and they last for decades. Fantasy parallel. Like the tents of the Rohirrim. Simple, strong, battle-tested by nature. Cultural insight. These tents are engineering marvels of survival, built entirely from their environment and tradition. 33. Qashqai women's dresses. Fashion of the free nomadic Qashqai women wear bright, layered dresses even when herding sheep. Each pattern and color tells a story. Status, region, sometimes even emotion. Fantasy parallel. Like warrior queens in disguise. Bold, proud, wrapped in history. Cultural insight. Clothing here isn't just style, it's heritage woven into daily life. 34. The Book of Kings. Shahnameh, written over 1,000 years ago by Ferdowsi. The Shahnameh is Iran's national epic. It tells of mythical heroes, demons, fallen kings, and eternal battles. Over 50,000 verses, all in perfect rhyme. Fantasy parallel. Iran's Silmarillion, but longer. More dragons. Cultural insight. It preserved the Persian language after Arab conquest. A weapon made of poetry. 35. The Tower of Gonbad Qaboos. A brick that pierces heaven. Built in 1006 AD, this tower is made entirely of bricks, and it's 72 meters tall. No steel, no cement. Still standing. Its geometry is so precise, it casts no shadow at noon. Fantasy parallel like a wizard's signal tower, still glowing with magic. A cultural insight, an architectural enigma. proof of medieval science and art in perfect balance. 36. Persian miniature. Tiny paintings. Infinite worlds. These paintings are smaller than your hand, but they hold entire universes, palaces, battles, lovers, stars. No shadows, no perspective, just flat, divine beauty. Fantasy parallel, like spell books drawn by celestial scribes. Cultural insight, they defy Western norms of art, showing a spiritual world where everything is equally important. 37. The red gold of Iran. Saffron grows from a fragile purple flower. It must be picked at dawn by hand. It's more expensive than gold, but Iranians use it casually, in rice, tea, even ice cream. Fantasy parallel, like potion ingredients in a wizard's satchel. Rare, glowing, potent. Cultural insight. Saffron is labor, love, and land in powder form, a gift and a ritual. 38. The language of flowers. Floral motifs in everything from tiles to carpets to poetry. Persian culture is obsessed with flowers, roses, cypresses, tulips. Each one means something. Sorrow, love, pride, eternity. Elfos fantasy, parallel. Elves might use flowers to speak, so do Persians. Cultural insight. Nature isn't background. It's part of every message, every identity. 39. The ice cream with noodles. Faluda, Iran has an ancient frozen dessert called faluda. Rosewater, rice noodles, and lime. Cold, chewy, sour sweet. Weird, but addictive. Fantasy parallel, like a dessert from an enchanted bazaar in the East. Cultural insight. It's 2,000 years old. Proof that food fusion existed long before TikTok recipes. 40. Carpet knot mathematics. When art meets math, each real carpet has thousands, sometimes millions of hand-tied knots. Weavers calculate tension, symmetry, and color change mid-flow. No mistakes allowed. Fantasy parallel, like magical encryption woven into cloth. Cultural insight. Persian carpet making is both art and algorithm. It's visual code made to last centuries. 41. The Inzeli Lagoon. Lotus paradise in the north of Iran. There's a huge lagoon where giant lotus flowers bloom in late summer. It's quiet, misty, and feels like nature is whispering. Fantasy parallel, like the sacred waters of Galadriel's realm. Cultural insight. This lagoon supports fishermen and rare birds, showing harmony between people and ecosystem. 42. Wrestling. Iran's ancient sport of heroes, Iran's traditional wrestling, it's called zirconi, is performed in a domed hall with drums and ritual chants. It's half workout, half spiritual ceremony. It's fantasy parallel, like a warrior rite of passage in Middle-earth. Strength and soul combined. Cultural insight. UNESCO-listed heritage that links physical training with Sufi-inspired ethics. 43. The Tree of Life. Cypress of Abarku. Cypress tree in Abarku is estimated to be over 4,000 years old. It has outlived empires, earthquakes, and entire civilizations. Fantasy parallel, like the white tree of Gondor, but real, a living monument. Cultural insight. For locals, it's not just a tree, it's a guardian, a symbol of resilience. 44. Persian calligraphy, dance of words. In Iran, words don't just communicate, they dance. Persian calligraphy turns poetry into visual beauty. Each curve is deliberate, each balanced like a note in music. Fantasy parallel, spell inscriptions in Elvish script. Cultural insight, it's more than writing. It's meditative art that blends meaning with form. 45. The Towers of Silence, guardians of the dead. We touched on this before, but the ancient Dakama towers deserve a return. Standing strong on hilltops, silent and watchful over desert plains. Fantasy parallel, like the silent watchtowers that guard lost kingdoms. Cultural insight, a reminder of Zoroastrian respect for earth and the cycle of life. 46. The hidden symbols in Persian carpets. Did you know many Persian carpets are coded? Tiny motifs hide stories, protection spells, fertility wishes, even subtle political messages. Fantasy parallel, enchanted runes hidden in fabric. Cultural insight, Carpets are not just decoration, they are secret messages woven into daily life. 47. The Caspian horses, Iran's ancient breed. One of the oldest horse breeds on Earth, the Caspian horse is small, but incredibly strong and fast. Ancient Persian kings rode them in battle. Fantasy parallel, like Rohan's legendary steeds. Compact but fierce. Cultural insight. This breed was once thought extinct, but rediscovered. A living relic of Iran's warrior past. 48. Persian ice cream, Bastani Sanati. Rosewater, saffron, pistachios, and chewy frozen cream. Bastani is Iran's answer to gelato, but with ancient roots. Lanasi. Parallel. Dessert from a royal elven feast. Cultural insight shows how Iran fuses food, fragrance, and history into every bite. 49. The fire temples. Eternal flames, Zoroastrian fire temples, hold sacred flames that have burned for centuries without going out. Each flame is tended daily, never allowed to die. Fantasy parallel, like the eternal beacon in Gondor, signaling light and hope. Cultural insight. Fire symbolizes truth and purity in Zoroastrian faith, living proof of devotion. 50. Persepolis. The throne of kings, we end at Persepolis, the jewel of ancient Persia. Built 2,500 years ago, its grand halls, staircases, and carvings tell of a civilization that ruled vast lands with vision and power. Fantasy parallel. Imagine if Minas Tirith and Rivendell merged into one real-world capital. Cultural insight. Persepolis isn't just a ruin, it's a symbol of legacy, its ambition, and the timeless dream of human greatness. So next time someone tells you Iran is just desserts and oil, remind them. This land is pure, epic, history, mystery, and a touch of magic.